Welcome to another installment of I'm a Farmer, your number one platform when it comes to all things farming. Whether you're a seasoned agriculturalist who just wants to know new trends, or whether you're a new entry in the agri market, or whether you're just somebody who just wants to know where their food comes from, this is the platform for you. Now, today we're talking about a very important aspect when it comes to running a business, and that is legacy. What is legacy and why is it important, especially when you're having a farming enterprise? I'm not alone in studio today. I'm with Branko. That is Nkosana Mtambo from what?
Mntambo Burdere, man. Come on,
why
man. I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it, sure.
So Nkosana farms with cattle, sheep, maize, and soya. And well, Lord knows what else, because he's always diversifying, which is one thing I appreciate about you, Branko. So, Astalege, tell us about Mntambo Burdere. When did it start and what is it all about?
Look, Tabi, thank you for hosting me here. Well, Mntambo Burdere, man, has a little bit of a long journey, but long and short in one sentence. Mntambo Burdere actually started in 2014. There was Mntambo Enterprise before Mntambo Burdere. Mntambo Burdere started in 2014 when I turned 21. Then that's when Mntambo Burdere started, and the name Farmboy. We'll get into that later on.
Oh, good job, who's the Farmboy?
Yeah, hashtag Farmboy, man.
Okay, go on.
So Mntambo Burdere started in 2014 by a young man who was from the Val and who was also into buy and sell, livestock speculator. So until later on, the man realized that the importance of diversifying in farming. You remember that we have like your foot and mouth disease as a livestock speculator. Once you get that sickness, you stop. The business is stopped. So no income. So it brought up my mind to say, look, one day I dream to have a farm because I can multiply and diversify as much as I want. So it happens that God heard my prayers. And the old man decided to put their heads together and say, look, we're giving this young man a birthday gift for his 21st birthday. I wasn't aware. Look, man, 2014, boom. Here's a gift, Mntambo Burdere. That's what I named my gift. After there was this enterprise that was already rolling in the industry and doing wonders with cattle, livestock speculation. Man.
So, multi-gift.
Look, mostly when you turn 21,
key.
You get a key, you get a car.
Ah, yeah, a car.
Yeah, some people get a car, man.
Yeah, some people.
Okay. But look, I was expecting a car probably, look, I'm from a business family. So I knew that with the hard work that they see, the potential they see in me, these guys going to buy me and upgrade my car probably. That's what I expected. But little did I know, they got me by surprise and said, brother, come in the bakkie, let's drive to Freestate. I'm like, hey, who do you know in Freestate? No, we've got something to show you. That's my dad and my granddad. I'm like, we drove in, man. We got to this beautiful farm. Hey, we got into this farm and I'm like, they're probably going to buy me livestock. They're probably going to buy me what? Yeah, let's get here. And I'm expecting to see someone coming to us at the gate.
Yeah.
Like, Vatsukela, Kanosiela help. Because it's in Freestate, deep in the Freestate. Look, little did I know. When I got at the gate, they said, daughter, here's your keys.
Yo.
I'm like, nah, man. I know it's not April. My birthday is in July. There's no April Fool.
April Fool.
So don't play with me. And I'm like, no. They were like, no, man, here's the key. Nali Plaza, we had this farm for many years, but we didn't want to tell you. But here's the farm. We've seen the potential. We've seen the hard work, the dedication, the sleepless nights, man. The business you've grown to this point, and we saw that you are overgrazing and holding capacity. Yeah, short. So here's a gift, and I'm like, didn't click. I'm like, this is too like. Okay, I took the key slowly. Thinking that later on they'll say, we hired the farm for you and everything. But little did I know, they bought this farm a very long time ago. Just that, my parents were disciplined people. Like, they were so strict in a form, they will encourage you to study and don't focus on our business.
Yes, focus on your future.
On your future.
Yeah.
So if maybe I knew that home we've got a farm, I would have relaxed and we've got a farm. Until I got to 21 and they saw the hard work and potential. And they saw me running to agents, property agents, looking for a farm, trying to get into the bigger space now. And then look, they gave me a farm, man. That was the beginning of Mntambo in 2014, my brother, 28th of July, bro.
Yo, so you are 21 and you were giving... Oh, by the way, how big is the farm, by the way?
The farm is 710 hectares.
Arable land, eh? How big is the arable land on the farm?
Look, grazing is 510 and arable is 200 hectares, man. So that's how big it is.
It's actually nicely balanced.
Bro.
Nicely balanced, bro. So you are 21 years of age,
sure,
and you are given a whole farm out there. Couldn't want to die without even seeing that. You understand what I'm saying? So what was going through your mind that day, bro?
Well, I thought I'm dreaming at first until I woke up to the reality. They said, hey, daughter, here's the farm. Go and work. Move your livestock. You know, it started clicking when I moved my livestock in. When I started fixing my fences and realizing, this is my plaque. So I was so excited, so much, man. I couldn't believe. It took me time. It took me time to believe. I cried some point and look, like, why me? You know, just a city boy, you know, who's business-minded, who decided to be given a farm. But look, above all, I worked hard for it in a form that, you know how strict my parents would. They would tell me that, Yazin, that farm is owing.
Hey.
So just know you are going to pay for it. Little did I know they are strengthening me so that I don't relax.
Yeah.
Those people always kept me on my toes so that I don't become on a comfort zone and think, now I've got a farm, I got it all. That's why today you got this big mega Mntambo boerdery.
Yes. So now we're going to move into the space of Mntambo boerdery. So here you are, you have this land, you start moving your livestock in there. One thing I noticed about Abantu who get IFA, as we call it in Yasin to IFA, is that they often don't know how to handle it and they either squander it or they give it away or they lose it. But you didn't do that. So tell me about Mntambo boerdery. Once you started farming there, what was the first thing that you did to make sure Uti, that IFA doesn't, just get squandered?
Look, I was hungry for working. You know, when you're hungry for success, like you can't wait. You always say, if I get a farm, Mina, I'm unstoppable. That's how I was. I used to preach to them, look, Mina, Angatoli Plaza, guys, I'm flying.
Yeah.
So they saw the passion in me. So first thing I did when I got to the farm, they told me, look, we owing ABSA 1.2 million from the farm. So you're going to have to settle it. And I'm like, it's not a problem. Give me a year or two, I'll be done with the settlement. So the first thing I get there, I told myself, Guti, I'm not going to be one of those people who says when they're given things, they blow it. I decided to say, no, I'm going to change a lot of things in my life. I lost a lot of friends. Remember when you start farming, and by that time, people looked at me like, this one is crazy. People I went to school with went to do their doctorates, went to do law and everything. And look, they were like, what's with you? Why do you want to come and get yourself dirty? And I'm like, no, it's fine. So I lost a lot of friends. Remember, I'm from the city.
Yeah.
I'm used to the city busy life. Now I'm fully a farm boy. Remember the livestock speculation job is a Monday to Friday, at least deliveries and everything. Now I'm fully hands-on.
Yeah.
I know nothing about crop. Here's this farm. Here's the 510 for grazing. The livestock is suitable for it. Here's the 200 arable. It needs to be utilized.
Yeah, exactly. Can't just be sitting there.
I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
But because I've been ready in my mind and say, even if a bombshell comes, I'm ready for it. So the first thing I did manage to stock up more because I had a good record with my auctioneer where I buy my livestock. Here starts some stress. My customer base changes now. I'm no longer in Gauteng, I'm in Freestate.
You're in Freestate now.
So now it's a bit expensive to transport livestock. So now you start to understand that now you need diversification. You can't put your eggs in one basket. Yeah, that's when I said, look, I'm pushing. I'm going also for crop. I'm going for sheep. That's when it started.
Yo. So one thing I appreciate about you is that already before Utola Le Plus, you already had a agricultural background.
Sure.
even though you might think, it's not enough, but it was enough to actually get you started. Now, what were some of the challenges you face now? You are in this land, okay, everything is going sharp, but how much challenges you are facing up?
Look, when I started, the first challenges I got, truth be told, even in a workplace, when you arrive, there's that uncomfortableness of probably colleagues not accepting you well. Some of my neighbors, not all of them, Tabi, let me make it clear. Some of them were not treating me too so good. Look, we had a few incidents where cattle would jump over the fence to my neighbor's camps or probably my neighbor's maize camp. And then there would be a bit of feud and everything, you understand? Because I'm the new guy. I'm from Gauteng. I'm here in the Free State now. So, those were the challenges I encountered. And I think with the kind of livestock I was having, I had a problem with adaptability. I lost a few, That's the part we never tell people, that when I started, it was never easy because I lost a lot of livestock because of adaptability. Remember, I was selling a mixed breed, bringing it into Free State. That place, I'm in the Eastern Free State, a very cold place in the Free State. So I lost a few livestock when I started, and I did mistakes. People must know that, because remember, I don't understand the system of breeding in a farm, the LSU system. I just went with a mindset of I'm a livestock speculator. 2,000 cows or 1,000 cows, But I made those kind of mistakes when I started. But along the way, self-correction came in. So, yeah.
So speaking of making mistakes and, learning along the way, obviously, you can't be in agriculture without a mentor.
Sure.
So who was your mentor, and also how did they help you get to where you are?
Look, when I got there, a lot of people don't know that. With the kind of family that I have, they got me the best education ever. Then they took me abroad. And a lot of people don't know that part. They took me abroad to Indonesia, in Jakarta. And there's a province there called Batu. They are very good in agro-processing. My family took me there and said, look, man, go and do your training that side, and then you can correspond with them and advance your learning skills, because it's going to be a problem if you're going to have to stay full-time that side. Go and advance your skills that side. So I also took that by storm. I went there full force with also having a mentor like the likes of Ndate, Nick Serfontaine. Yeah, because when I got in the game, I did my research. Who are the big shots there? And Ndate, Nick was one of the people on the list. And look, I humbled myself, went to the man, did a meet and greet, told him my story. He was so inspired and he was very happy, and he said, look, he took me by his hand. Until today, I'm still part of the Cernic group. So he was one of the mentors, and that training I got there in Malang, in Indonesia, helped me a lot. Today, I'm a qualified agro-processor there.
Branko. I'm actually surprised at the process that you went through, and the progress that you also saw, even though it was tough, Vele. Now, okay, as cool man, Farmboy again. Let's Farmboy thing, yeah, cool. In the Farmboy, hashtag Farmboy. Because the thing is, you are very active online. And here's the thing, I'm going to talk truth as in the truth I receive outside. I want to think, when you're in agriculture, social media, it's not supposed to be for you. Law is not really a farmer law. I know you're a farmer.
True, man.
So you're very active in social media, Brian. Why are you so active in social media? What benefit are you getting?
Look, Tabi, let me tell you something. The first thing I did, people who knew me before being the brand Mntambo, Portere and Farmboy, you go to my hood even today in the Valley, in Everton, or Sharkville, they will tell you that we had butcheries at home. We were a big Chisanyama family. We had about 3 Chisanyamas in the whole township. So we've always been a family of business. So the business-minded thing was instilled in me, even in high school, because in high school I had people selling for me biscuits, sweets. So that thing, business, it's in my genetics. So what happens after I got into the farming space, and especially in the commercial space, I told myself, look, I'm starting this thing too. I'm going to make farming fashionable. I sat with a few farmers who've been in the game. Most of them I could tell, this is how they do things. I'm that kind of person who always says, when I tap into something, I want something that is not for everyone. That's why I went for farming, when everyone went for engineering, when everyone went for IT. I don't have a problem about that.
Yeah.
But I just said, I want to be odd, just want to be unique. That's when I decided to say, I'm going to be a farm. So when I'm in that space, Tabi, how it got me to be the farm boy and the brand, I said, look, farming doesn't have enough exposure.
Yeah.
By then, in 2014, man, when you're a farmer, especially you would say an African farmer like me, people were like, yeah, this one. And remember, farming has been viewed like a career of the uneducated.
Absolutely.
So I said, I'm going to change the space. I sat down and did my maths and said, the only thing I can do, because I don't have that much exposure, let me utilize social media. As you know, social media is a two-way thing. It can break you or either make you.
Absolutely.
So I valued it and said, look, as much as I want to put my lifestyle on the social media, I'm just going to put the work part, I'm just going to hide the private part, but just for safety purposes. I did that very well. I remember my first article was with a newspaper called Daily Sun. It was in 2016.
Daily Sun, Brian.
Yes, they covered my story actually because I thought, let me go there, because I think it was the time when we were transforming from Mixit to WhatsApp. But it was already there. WhatsApp was already doing good, but I thought, let me take it to a broader platform so that I inspire someone in a corner who thinks farming is for the uneducated and farming is for a specific race. I took my story to this guy. I remember the writer by then was Ndate Den. I just can't forget. I remember the surname. They took my article, and then that's when we started the brand of Farmboy. The Farmboy brand was always there, in the family. In the family, baby, this one loves cows. This one is always, this one is always dirty. This one, that thing, little did I know, it's like a third name that you get rewarded in life when you are a hard worker. That's when the Farmboy brand started. Because, they used to say from a city boy to becoming a farm boy. So I honored it. I never became shy. That's when I started to say, let me put everything on social media. But you know what happens about social media? People don't put the right, real content. People do the dodgy and, you get farmers, social media farmers.
Yeah.
And I said, let me be raw. Let me give them raw content. And I used to pose problems. People should understand that once you want to come in this farming community, don't think that this is a hand-to-mouth system. This is going to be a jolly, a Christmas setup. No. You must know there will be those ups and downs. So I would post when a cow died in Itibafeto, I've lost something like 10,000 today. And just to draw inspiration of truth, because what we see sometimes on social media, and when we go to people's farms lately,
it's completely different. Yeah.
That's when I say to myself, I'm going to make farming fashionable. And then I introduced this system of posting, this system of the Farmboy hashtag, branding my cars Farmboy, just to draw inspiration to someone who thinks farming is for the uneducated. We changed the system. I'm actually one of the people who said, I've changed the system of farming. I'm proud of it. Now you find people boldly wearing their farming outfits, even at a wedding.
Yeah, bro.
Because they understand what the game has changed. We are the game changer. I've changed the game.
I'll tell me, and one thing I also notice about you, especially when on your posts, you always rubbing shoulders with the who's who in the game. Last time you won it, I was like, hey, this guy is posing with Patrice Motsepe. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Stuff like that. How is it helping your brand?
Look, Tabi, you know the biggest mistake people do is to think small. You must think big, man. Let your dreams scare you. When you wake up from your dream and say, me. That's how when I grew up, in my area, when you have money, like you probably, when we were youngsters, probably young, 12, 13 years, when you have about 20 rand, we call you Mtsepe. We say, hey, this one is money, Mtsepe,
Yeah.
So when I grew up, one of my dreams was to say that I want to rub shoulders with the likes of Ndate Patrice Motsepe, and whoever the president will be by then, I want to rub shoulders with him. And when you tell people like, when you smoke a lot, I don't, they don't believe in me. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It also helps you to dream big. The fact that I wanted that I went for it and I got it. I remember the first time I met EP03 was I think it was in 2018. I met him in Cape Town. And so I met this chap, Motsepe is a very humble man.
He's very humble,
no
man.
mistake. You would never think he's this, billionaire or so. I met Motsepe, meet and greet, gave him who I am, what I do, and guess what he said to me? He was shocked. Normally when people meet him, they want money from him, they want help from him. And you know what I said to him? No, Kundate, I just want you to mentor me and I just want to walk through your shoes. I don't want your money. I don't want anything from you. And he was like, where are you from? I'm like, deep in the Free State. And it's like, okay, let's see how it goes.
You went to Patrice Motsepe and asked for mentorship.
Yeah, just like, can I just be mentored
you got
by
balls
you?
of steel, my brother.
But he was also shocked because normally when people reach to him, they need money, they need funding, they need help. I'm just like, no, look, Baba, out of your busy schedule, man, I'm not a Sundowns fan, I'm a Pirates fan, but all I just need from you, can you please hold me by my hand? And I'm like, and he's like, no, man, with that kind of life, and I'm like, okay, no, thank you very much. That on its own goes a long way, you know. Took a picture, told me that one thing, just be disciplined. Even behind cameras, who's watching or not, be disciplined. I applied that, man. He doesn't know today that what he said was not long, but was short, but it went a long way.
It went a long way.
So now, all of a sudden, when I meet him at events, I could remind him, look at me now. I would tell him, look, when I met you, my annual turnover was 5 million, and now we are sitting at 20 million. Thanks to you, Mtsepe, you assisted me so much. And he was like, so happy. So now, he's proud and said, look, at least I help someone without even helping with money, but with the advices, the words, the motivation. It went a long way, So it helped a lot, man. I dreamed big and I went for my dream. I overcome my fear. There's a say that say, everything you need in life, it's on the other side of fear. Not taking a risk, it's a risk on its own. Risking is better than regretting. That's what I told myself. I'm going to go to Mtsepe and his bodyguard. If they chase me away, at least I would have tried. Yeah. So congratulations to everyone who tried in life, even though it didn't work. The fact they tried. So I tried, it worked. Look at me now.
Look at you now. Look at you now.
Yeah, so it worked, man.
And speaking of you asking for mentorship from people like Motsepe,
yes.
I hear also that you also now mentor young people.
Sure.
So why did you see the need to do that?
Tabi, the truth, I'm from a Christianity family. Well, a lot of people who know me better will say, we know this guy, his father had a heart of gold. At home, we are 4. We are 3 brothers and 1 sister. But I think we grew up 10 of us in a household, 12. Abantwana baka auntie, abantwana baka bani in one home.
Yeah.
That thing has taught me something. I said to myself, look, if my dad could do it, I draw inspiration from the man, by the way. He did take these people to the best school. He took them to the best school, multiracial, the best school. Today, he's reaping the results of that. When he says if today he would say he's not feeling well, we even fight to go and make sure that he gets the best help. So that thing, I adapted the system and said, look, empowering people helps a lot. Tabi, it's not about how many people you greet or what. It's about how many people you've assisted in life. So I started this thing and said, look, I draw inspiration. Remember from who? Also Ntate Motsepe. Ntate Motsepe has what we call a Motsepe Foundation.
Yes.
I draw inspiration from that and said, even the Bible agrees with me because I'm a Christian, says 10% has to go, So I took a test, actually. I tested the system and said, let me see if I give out to people, what will happen? I started doing it. And one advice my dad said to me, when the right hand gives out, let the left not see. The biggest mistake you get people doing, the giving out, but saying, let the cameras come.
Yes.
Bring the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm going to give people food parcels, shoes. So I did that quietly. Look, Tabi, I helped a lot of people. If you to call them now, I think the studio is very small. Bring all the people I've helped. I started saying, look, I'm not making that much, but let me adopt a few children that I'll take to school, that I'll pay for their fees, buy school shoes, groceries. I did that, man. I did that. If you check to one of the episodes I did with SABC, it does show where I was giving out food parcels.
I saw it.
Where I was giving out school shoes, man. So that thing on its own, every time I would give out something, I would get a call from the upper office and say, look, we are proud of you. We see the work you've done and we want to. So that's why I developed the heart of mentoring people. Right now, as we speak, where I go, I share my knowledge. That's why I'm here to the podcast to say, I'm not going to be selfish and act big and say, no, I'm not going to those things. I'm not going to waste time to share my knowledge. By the way, I decided to say, look, I want to share my knowledge. I want to be remembered one day in my life and to say that there was once a guy by the name of Farmboy. That guy was about empowering people. You know, sometimes, Tab, it's difficult to empower people because some of them will swear at you, after even helping them. But always do good and not look back. You get blessed. That's why I'm blessed, my man. You know?
That's why you're blessed.
Sure.
So, Branko, and another thing which I noticed is that, yes, you are empowering people and you are actually making waves in the agri business, but you are still a farmer and you still have problems. Now, currently you're harvesting, but you made time to come see me. Thank you for that, by the way.
Hey, man, you owe me.
Yeah. So, in Dota, we got hit with a drought recently. So, like, how did it impact you? And also, what are you doing now currently to, get rid of that problem?
Well, Toby, let me tell you something. I'm a first-generation farmer, actually, fully farmer. My parents, even though they were in farming, they were doing weekend farming. But now that I'm fully farming, I'm a first-generation farmer. By the way, there's a story I never told you that I started my crop farming in 2017 and 18, and I was hit by drought.
I remember that drought. That 2016.
Yes.
That drought was horrible, my man.
I started my business, remember, I've started with livestock 2014, 2016, 17 season, I'm saying, let me venture into crop, diversify now. My first million that I put in there.
Gone. Drought,
gone. You starting your business, imagine. And you starting this crop thing, gone. You question, you didn't have insurance because it's only the start.
It's only the start.
Yeah, and you like, hey, but now. Comes 2018, 2019. You have to go back to the fields and plant.
And plant again.
For someone who lost millions, it's not easy to go back. But because I understand that I'm a farmer, farming is it's a profession of hope. I said to myself, look, I'm going to go back there. I'm going to go even stronger. I'm not going to give up. I can imagine if I gave up.
Yeah.
When I went back, luckily it was a good year. I hit it. It was so great, man. So all I'm just going to say is that with what is happening now, I'm fortunate. Tabi, you must be grateful sometimes for your problems, my man. They actually prepare you for the worst. Because if we never had problems in life, I think some of us would be in comfort zones without being where we are.
Yeah.
So because I started with a drought and then I made it the second year, now what we are experiencing, to me, I'm the one who's comforting the others and saying, no. It's farming, don't give up. We are going back stronger next year. So we are also affected this year by the current El Nino season. We have about 100 and something hectares of maize that we are not going to harvest because we have decided there's nothing to harvest there because of we lack some rain. But what we told ourselves is that we've been in the game. As a farmer, what do? You prepare for tomorrow. Whenever you plan, you prepare for tomorrow. The fact that we have diversified into sheep farming, cattle farming, we're going to check, can't we recover from the winners we're getting, from the wool that we'll be sharing? Also remember, I'm also a contractor. I remember when I got into farming, I said I'm shaping the industry.
Yeah.
I said I cannot have a combined harvester that is going to work 3 months only for harvesting season. The whole year it sits in the shed.
Sits in the shed doing
Let
nothing.
it go and contract somewhere.
Yeah.
As we speak, I'm also a contractor. I say I'll recover my money in contracting. So every time as a farmer, you must plan ahead that what's going to happen this year. You must try to strategize. Yes, we have insurances. Yes, but you must also plan ahead and say, look, I'm going now to Free State from here, from Pretoria to Free State. There's traffic afternoon. How do I maneuver and avoid traffic? To be safe, it's either you go after the prime time or before the prime time. So as a farmer, you ought to always plan ahead, bro. So I am affected a lot by this current season, El Nino. Trust me, my brother, I'm affected, but I'm the strongest above all. Even the other fellow farmers were saying, why are you so strong? It's because I started with a bad foot and I learned the hard way, and it strengthened me. It showed me that this is not the end of the world. We try again next time, my brother. That's what got me running. As you can see me smiling as if I'm not affected. I am affected, by the way. So we were looking at the fields yesterday when I was talking to you and say to my manager, look, you know what? We should be grateful. In a space of 6 years that we started crop, and we are where we are. It's by the grace, man. So it's fine. It's just this bad season. One bad season doesn't guarantee all bad season coming. So to someone at home who says, I had drought, who's willing to give out, clearly you are not a farmer.
Yeah.
Farmers don't give up, my brother. And in farming, there's no trading hours. You work until the job is done. You know?
Branko, yes, I can sit here and talk with you the whole day.
Sure.
But unfortunately, every good thing comes to an end. But before Samba, I want to know now. I mean, you have diversified Mntambo Boerdery.
Yes.
You have a whole lot of things happening, even outside the Boerdery itself.
Yes, true.
So what is your number one plan, or should I say number one goal for Mntambo Boerdery? Are you going to still keep it in the family, or do you plan to expand it and make it into, I don't know, a PTY something?
Look, Tabi, if you follow me, you'll notice that.
I love the fact that if you follow me.
Look, you know, that's the only way to get information, man.
You're right, but what if you follow me? You should follow me.
No, you should follow me. I feed. Remember, the farmers are the one who feeds people. So you should follow the food. The food can't follow you. So, you know, even that cup of coffee you have,
yes,
you should, after drinking it, say thank you to me. So, but look, if you to follow me, man, I'm about empowerment. There's a project that we have already started, whereby we've combined the farmers in my area and then, formed a group called Phumelela Agri, where part of that group we have agreed to say we draw inspiration from the big co-ops like your Avgri, your VKB, We said, look, we want to learn from the best. We came with the mentality of saying, no, we are not going to do what they do. We said we're willing to learn. So we formed a group of about 11 farmers and we decided to put our heads together. Look, Tabi, I sit a lot with my neighbors. I sit a lot with most white farmers. I learned a lot from them. Every Friday there's a place where we hang out as farmers, when we have our original drinks, not the coffee.
Not the coffee we're drinking. I'm sorry,
so
bro.
that's where we strategize, and that's where I get this knowledge that I currently have and I run with. We registered a co-op in 2021 and said, look, guys, this thing, there's an African proverb that says, walking alone, you'll walk faster, but you'll get tired along the way. But walking together, you can walk a further distance. And then I applied that mechanism with this co-op and said, look, guys, we are all crop farmers. How about when we come into planting season, let's combine our heads. Put pride aside. Put the fighting aside. Come, Farmboy, how much you planting? Now that I'm planting 700 hectares, we're going to need to know how much diesel do you utilize. We come into the next, Tabi, how much you planting? I'm planting 200 hectares. I utilize this much of diesel. Next, detail, you make it such an example. And I showed them, like, the more you buy in bulk, the lower the discount. I started showing them. I showed them the light with that and said, look, let's try one season. What I need from you guys is that let us buy diesel in bulk. Give me the liters you buy during your planting season. I give them my liters. I do 12,000 liters. The other farmer does so many liters. The other does so many liters. We combine heads. We worked it out. We realize in every liter we are getting a 1 rand discount. You know how much 1 rand goes to if you're buying about 80,000 liters of diesel. We realized we've saved over than 100,000. Because of what? Working together. And empowerment. They were so excited after that first transaction and like, what? We've saved this much. Remember, I think the diesel by then was about 19 rand, and then we got a discount of about until 18 rand. So they were so excited. Then we went to a second phase and said, look, guys, now that we've seen it worked with diesel, seed.
Yeah, seeds are expensive.
Seed is expensive. When you're buying it individually, it's more expensive. But if you to combine the hectares or the quantity that you guys buy, it would make a lot of sense and it would drop the price automatically. We did the very same thing. We had a board, and which I'm the chairperson. I led the board and said, look, this is what the other farmers are doing. We combined the money into the account. We had a trust account with the Pomelelak. We went to purchase the seed. You'd be shocked, Tabi. Same thing, discount. We saved another about hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Fertilizer, same thing. Chemicals, the same thing. And then we sat down and said, look, farming is about time. It's all about time. We have limited planting season time. We are 11 farmers. How about this? We do this system that we've been doing in a form of planting now. People hesitated and said, look how it's going to be done. Each and every member is to send a tractor there when we come and work. We had everything on paper, pen and paper. Tabi, you'd laugh, man. When we plant about 400 hectares, we take about 3 weeks with our machinery alone. But the fact that the members have donated tractors, we had in the field, we had about 12 tractors. It was the members' tractors and my tractors, 12, about to plant 400 hectares. 12 tractors about to plant 400 hectares, it's like 2-3 days.
Yeah, it's quick.
You're closing the gate. We moved to another farmer, 2-3 days. There's this other one who was planting 120. When we got in with 11 tractors, we broke a record. Half a day was done. We have 2 tractors ripping and disking. We have 2 planters. We have chemical spreaders, fertilizer spreaders. Within half a day, we were done.
You were done planting.
So what did that demonstrate to them? Like, if we could work together, it saves time, saves money. So trust me, that's why I'm pushing this empowerment. Wherever I go, I preach about working together. We can save more, we can save time. So I am emphasizing and I'm pleading to the farmers, like, look at it in that way. We had our difference. Someone asked me, how do you manage characters?
That's the thing. I'm thinking top of my head, this is a great idea, but we as humans, we have our own problems. So how are you managing all these characters?
Look, I'm from a business family. I understand what we call a human being. I understand a human being better. I can tell what excites a human being. It's money.
That's true.
If I to give you now 100,000 tab, you'll be excited.
Very.
You'd even leave this interview.
I would leave this interview.
So I draw up a plan before we even planted and say, we're drawing up on paper. I'm not going to do it on mouth to mouth. Everyone agreed, signed, had signatures. Along the way, we had farmers wanting to pull out. But because I was smart, we had it on paper with an attorney involved. No one could pull out. We had to push. But guess what? When we started harvesting, they are the ones who were celebrating most and said, thank you, Farmboy, man.
Yeah.
We saved a lot of money. We made profit. We've seen that. So we had a study group even eventually, whereby we said, look, we study what's happening now in the area. I remember we had these worms that were eating the maize. I just forgot the name of the worms. And there was this pesticide we need to use. So because of the study group, it helped us a lot, man, in a form that if any farmer develops something, we have a group chat that he will send in the group and say, look, I'm seeing my soya beans. They're starting to crack. What could be the problem? And because we are a collective, Tabit worked out. So all I'm just saying is that part of that has demonstrated that if we work together as a nation also, and also as farmers, and not compete, there's the spirit of competing unnecessary sometimes. I think if we can just join hands, pride aside, work together. We can save South Africa, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Branko, thanks a lot.
Sure.
You should go back because you're harvesting right now.
Yeah, I'm making money now. This is harvesting season, I tell you, there's no farmer that's moody.
Yeah. Nyabon, oh, is that why you're here?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Nyabon.
You'll find me moody for the 8-9 months, but the 3 months of the year, I'm the happiest soul, man.
No, but thanks a lot for coming, Branko.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it. This is not the end of us, ne? I want to come back to your farm because last time I was there, you didn't have a lot. So now I understand there's a lot of things happening there.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of activities. You probably will find there's a mall built inside the farm. Yeah, no, but yeah, there's a lot that happened. And also thanks to you guys and to Farmer Podcast. Thank you so much, man, for hosting me too, man. You know, this is home, man, Tabi. Thank you so much, my brother.
Yo, I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. I learned a lot. It was also very good to connect with an old friend, Branko, because I always talk to him online, but I actually never see him. But this is great. So thank you so much for joining us on Farmer. Please don't forget to subscribe and please like this. And hey guys, please share this as much as possible because after all, we here at Farmer believe in farming. And you know what? Farming is life. Thanks a lot for coming through, guys, and see you again on the next one.